21 Day Yoga and Weight Loss Challenge. So this morning, you might want to grab, well, you definitely will want to grab yourself a cushion or a yoga block, something that you can place in between your knees and squeeze. And so that is a must. A belt or a scarf or a yoga belt is a nice thing to have, but you don't have to have it. So if you want to go and grab those items quickly, and then we can begin the class. So when you've got your lovely pillow, you're going to come down onto your back. And actually, before we get into that, jump on ahead. So day 3 we learned Ujjayi. Yesterday was a slow practice incorporating Ujjayi with the asana. It's just trying to move, practicing that breath. And today is a continuation of that, but there's going to be a focus more on the lower body and the hips. And as we're moving through the practice, we're going to take a few different postures that are really hopefully going to help you to not only practice your Ujjayi, but to engage your core muscles as we're exhaling and moving through some of these postures. So it's just, I'm just trying to set you up with the foundations really. So any yoga practice you do, whether you're coming to my class or you're going to somebody else's class, I find that very rarely these kind of things are cued within the class. And by doing this now, you kind of know it. So you don't have to be told to do it in the future because it's going to be there. You've basically laid the foundation for a better practice. So anyway, let's get cracking. So coming down onto your back. So you're going to take your pillow and you're going to place your pillow in between your knees. Okay, and we're going to use that pillow as something to feed back. So we're going to use it to squeeze, and we can really then, with that squeezing, hopefully get some engagement in our lower, in our tummy muscles. So, just to begin with, coming onto the mat, having the eyes closed, getting comfy, making sure your spine is nice and straight and long, back of the head on the mat, and that neck is nice and long, and that your chin is slightly tucked in. We always try to have that in yoga, that sort of slight tucking in of the chin if we can. Have the hands on the tummy. I'm going to take 4 rounds of breath. And on the exhale, so using your Ujjayi, on the exhale, I'd like you to see if you can really squeeze the cushion or the block. And then as you're squeezing, it's almost like the squeezing starts at the base chakra, and you're squeezing all the way up through the tummy muscles, really pulling in, okay? And then exhale, inhale, just as we inhale, we're just going to sort of release that squeeze and allow the inhale to fill the body, okay? Fill the chest, fill the rib cage. And then as we exhale, we're going to go back into the squeeze. So we're going to do 4 rounds of breath work to begin with. So when you're ready, so we're going to inhale, fill in the chest and the rib cage. And then exhale, squeeze. But don't forget to use Ujjayi breath as we're doing this, or your straw breath if you're not able to do Ujjayi just yet. Exhale to squeeze. Inhale. So just releasing the squeeze as we inhale, exhale. Really see if you can really give it a good squeeze. Last round, inhaling, gently releasing that hold. And squeezing in. Good. So we're going to do that again 4 times, but 4 more times, but this time we're going to continue to squeeze on the inhale. So the reason why we're doing that is that I want you to learn to have a slight engagement on the inhale. So you're still going to be breathing into the top of the body, but there is some support down below in that using the tummy muscles, okay? So let's go again, 4 breaths. So inhaling, and then there's that slight engagement. And then as we exhale, we're going to intensify the engagement of the tummy muscles as we squeeze the pillow. Inhale, just relaxing the squeeze, but maintaining, you know, a little bit, 10%, 20%. And then exhale as we squeeze. Inhale. See if you can keep that, maintain that squeezing down below. And then exhale, really squeeze. Beautiful. Okay, just relax now. You can take the pillow away. We will use that again, so just keep it nearby. And then when you're ready, you're going to roll onto one side, just to come up. And we're just going to take a few cat-cows. So coming onto your knees into tabletop position. So hands below, shoulders and knees below, hips, back is flat. So again, using your Ujjayi breath, we're going to inhale, lifting the chest. And then as we exhale, we're going to engage the tummy muscles, tuck the tailbone and bring it back towards the heels. Not all the way, maybe like halfway, and then tuck the head in at the end. Good. And then you're going to push through, inhaling into your up cat, so dropping through the shoulder blades, heart is lifting. Keeping that slight engagement in the tummy muscles, even though we're inhaling. Exhale. Squeeze. Tuck the tailbone. Hips towards heels. Tuck the head. 4 more breaths. Inhaling into up cat. Exhale. Tuck the tailbone, coming back, drawing up and in through the in and up through the tummy. Last 2 breaths in your own time. Have the eyes closed and really go in. What's going on inside the body? It's almost like you're sort of. So you're there in your tummy muscles, seeing what's going on. Really engaged, visualizing. Okay, yeah, I can see what's going on. I'm connected. Good. And then from this position, we are going to take a few rounds of downward facing dog. So, but we're going to use the cat-cow sequence that we just did to come into our downward facing dog. So if I cue you and you just follow along with me now. So nice big inhale. So we're going to drop the shoulders like we did a minute ago and lift the heart, arch in the back. So nice big inhale, slight engagement in the tummy muscle still. Tuck the tailbone as we exhale into our downward facing cat, I imagine. Inhale into the up cat again. And then at this point, we're going to tuck our toes and we're going to push through into our downward facing dog. So remembering to keep that engagement in your tummy. Inhale, drop the knees. Upward facing cat. Exhale, downward facing cat. Inhale, up cat. And then exhale into your downward facing dog, really keeping those muscles engaged at all times, using your Ujjayi breath. Breath is matched to the length of the movement. Okay, so you're going to take, in your own time, another 2 rounds. So you inhale into your up cat. And then as you exhale, you push up into your downward facing dog. Inhale, up cat. This feels so good in the morning just to get the whole body, it's the back and the spine, everything sort of mobilized. If you wake up feeling stiff, this is a really nice thing to do in the morning. So even if you didn't have, 20 to 30 minutes to do your yoga, you could literally just have the mat there ready and waiting and do maybe 2 minutes of this just to set you up. Okay, so we're going to go back into that downward facing dog now. So, and we're going to stay there for a few breaths. So when we're here, just keeping that engagement in the tummy as we exhale. Really imagine you've got the cushion and you're squeezing. Inhaling. As we exhale, we squeeze. One more round of breath. Inhale, dropping the knees, lifting the chest. Exhale as we go into our down cat. Or half child's pose. Whatever you want to call it this morning. Okay, let's go back into our downward facing dog. So go through that little sequence to get into your downward facing dog. Exhaling into downward facing dog. You can have the legs bent. Yeah, nice stretch in the back. That's all I'm interested in today is the spine. And then when you're ready, we're going to lift the right leg up. You're going to bend it. And then you're going to see if you can bring it through to your nose area. And then face it down on the mat. I'm very stiff today. Very stiff. So you're going to place the foot onto the mat. If you want to drop the back knee, you can. We're just going to come into this little mini lunge, just to stretch out the front of the thighs. And that's kind of psoas area. I feel like I really need that today. So we're just going to stay here. This is for my benefit. I'm going to stay here. Just do a couple of rounds of breath. And with every exhale, you may find that you can just relax a little bit more into the posture and deepen into that lunge. So if you're still okay to be here, you're going to take your right hand, you're going to place it on the inside of the right foot, maybe just walk that right foot out slightly, and you're going to come into this kind of lizard pose. So your arms are basically under your shoulders and your right hand is next to your right foot. So you might feel a nice opening in that hip area. So again, just a couple of breaths here. And step that foot back. Come back up into your downward facing dog. Inhale, drop the knees to mat. Inhale, lift the chest. And this time with your downward facing dog, your downward facing cat, you're going to bring it all the way back to child's pose. And you're just going to rest for just a minute here, just to see if you can stretch open the back, face the back a bit more. Maybe have the knees a little bit wider so you can just get a nice hip opening as we're here. Take a few breaths, breathing into the back of the body. Relaxing after that nice stretch. Okay, and then we're going to go onto the other side. So we're going to do the left side now. So when you're ready, you're going to push yourself up into that tabletop position. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, squeeze. Remember, we're squeezing as we're dropping our heels halfway. Head comes down drop the head. Inhaling back into your up cat. Exhale, tap the toes. Push yourself into downward facing dog. Oh, so good. So good. And remember here, you're really squeezing if you can. So taking that left foot now, lifting it up. And then you're going to bring it through, so bringing the nose towards the knee and seeing where you can plant that left foot. So ideally you want the left foot in between the hands if we can. And then we're going to drop that back knee. And we're just going to come into a nice lunge. Maybe take 3 breaths here. That left foot, you're going to walk the left foot out, heel toe it out slightly if you can, and bring the left hand inside the left foot. And if you want to, you could even use your elbow to slightly push away that calf, just to, really increase the opening of the hip. Just going to stay here for 3 more breaths. And if at any point you feel like you can't stay or you don't want to stay, then just come out and go into child's pose. It's not a problem. Cool. So now you're going to take that left foot and you're going to step it back. And you're going to come back up into your downward facing dog. Okay, so just take maybe a breath here. And then as we inhale, dropping the knees to the mat. Exhaling the hips all the way back to the heels. If you want to open the knees and drop the body in between the knees, that's fine. You can do that. And just have a moment here just to relax. And then pushing yourself up. So this is kind of a nice kneeling, sitting, lying practice today, with no standing. So we're going to get our cushion again. Grab our cushions and we're going to place the cushion back in between our thighs. So we're just going to see if we can work a bit more engagement there. So we've done this posture quite a few times where we push up to the knees. We're engaging the cushion, the feet are on the floor. Ideally, we have them as close as we can to the hips, but depending on how your knees are, you want to maybe adjust that. Making sure the spine is long, chin is tucked in, and the hands are by the sides. On the inhale, we're going to push up through the hips and take the arms overhead. And then as we exhale, lower the arms and the hips. Using Ujjayi breath. And remembering breath length is the length of the movement. Matching that. And squeezing the cushion as we exhale. And maintaining, if you can, a little bit of contraction on the inhale. So there's a lot going on. So don't worry too much if there's, just do what you can. We're going to do 4 rounds, okay, just to get into it, and then we'll do a few stays. So when you're ready, you're going to inhale, you're going to lift the hips up, and you're going to squeeze. My hips won't go further than that this morning. Exhale as we lower. So inhale, slight squeeze, lifting the hips, taking the arms over the head, and then as we exhale, we really want to squeeze, pulling in and up in the stomach muscle and the pelvic area as we lower. 2 more rounds. Good, so just making that your last one. And then when you're ready, you're going to do it a couple more times. And I want you to stay up, keep the hips up and the arms overhead. And just breathe there using Ujjayi, obviously maintaining the squeezing of the cushion if you can. So it's quite strong. It's great for working the thighs and the hips. When you're ready, we're going to inhale, taking the hips up. And you're going to stay, you're going to squeeze here. Inhale. And then exhale to lower. So as we're lowering, we're still squeezing. Okay, so doing it one more time. Lifting the hips up. Squeeze. Inhale. Squeeze. Exhale, lower. Okay, maybe you do one more time on your own. Taking it one more round, using your own cueing. You can do it by yourself, just breathing into that. And then when you finish, you can just remove the cushion, relax down on your mat still. So I'm going to use my belt. I don't have to use the belt. I just find that with doing this, it helps me to relax my shoulders. So what we're going to do is, you've probably done this anyway, but we're going to come into that position where we take the left leg, cross it over the right leg, and then you can either use your hands just to bind behind that right leg to get a nice hip opening, or, which is what I like to do, you can use a nice belt to really bring that leg in towards you, allowing you to keep your shoulders on the mat. And then with this leg that's bent across, I want you to use that to push, so the left leg will be pushing into the right leg. So there's a bit of tension there. Okay, this is just a nice posture just to open up the hips, basically. I think if you've been working all week, maybe sitting at a desk, then this might be quite useful just to open up that area. Okay, so when we're ready, so you're going to inhale, lift the leg up, and then we're just going to stay here for a few breaths. Drawing the knee as close into you as you can, and then using the opposite leg, so the leg that's bent, you're going to be pushing into that. So my left leg is pushing into my right leg. So the right leg wants to come to my body, and I'm pushing it away with my left leg, creating a bit of tension. Eyes closed. One more round of breath. Dropping the foot to the floor. Dropping the other foot to the floor, and then we're just going to switch sides. So right foot now comes over left leg, and if you want to use your belt, you're just going to weave your belt behind that left thigh, and you're going to use that belt to lift that left leg, keeping your shoulders on your mat, keeping that neck nice and strong, and then with that right leg, you're going to push into the left leg. This starts to take a few nice Ujjayi breaths here, see if we can open up the hips a bit. One more breath. When you're ready, you're going to drop the left foot to the floor, drop the right foot to the floor, and then just discard the belt to the sides. Okay, good. So, staying on your back, we're just going to take a few movements for the hips as well. Further movements for the hips. So keeping the feet together, knees together, hands by your side. We're going to literally inhale, and as we do that, we're going to open the legs, open the knees, allowing the knees to drop to the side, feet pushing into the soles of the feet pushing into each other, and the arms overhead. Then we'll just exhale. Imagine that we're squeezing as we close the legs, bring the knees and the feet together, and the arms back down by the side. Ideally, your arms and the movement of your arms and your legs will be in sync. Okay, so we'll take sort of 4 rounds, and then we'll do a nice stay. Okay, so when you're ready, have the eyes closed. You're going to inhale, arms overhead, dropping the knees out to the side, palms, soles of the feet come together. Exhale, squeeze, close the legs, bring the arms down. Let's go again, inhaling. Dropping the knees, taking the arms overhead. Exhale as we squeeze. Squeeze the legs together, drop the arms down. Inhale, take the arms overhead, drop the knees. Exhale as we squeeze, pulling up with the tummy muscles. One more round. Yes. So we're going to come into a static position now, just doing that same movement, but we're just going to stay there and take some nice breaths. Probably like 4 rounds of breath. Okay, so when you're ready, you're going to inhale, sweep the arms overhead, drop the knees towards the mat. Soles of the feet come together. And then here we're going to exhale. And as we're exhaling, we're still pulling in and up through the pelvic floor muscles and the tummy. Keeping a little bit of engagement as you inhale. And then exhale, squeezing in and up again. So just working with your own breath in your own time. So take maybe another 3 rounds of breath here. As you're exhaling, it's almost like the belly's being scooped out. It's like a hollow well, if you like. It's like a dip in the tummy, ideally, as we exhale. Just making this your last breath. And then we're going to exhale the legs together and the arms back down by our sides. Just take a moment there just to let the body relax. Just to finish off the asana practice, we're going to take the knees in over our tummy. As we inhale, we're going to straighten the legs overhead and imagine hooking the feet over a bar. And at the same time, we're going to take the arms overhead. Yeah? And then as we exhale, legs and arms lower. So do it 6 times. When you're ready, inhaling, taking the legs up straight, arms overhead. Exhale as we lower. Lowering the arms and the legs bend, coming in over our tummy. Inhale, legs straight, arms overhead. Exhale as we bring the knees in and we lower the arms. 4 more rounds. Using your Ujjayi breath still. Last round. Just finishing off the round you're on and then making this the last round. Placing the feet on the floor. And then if you want to, just lengthening the legs, mat width apart. Coming into a little Shavasana, arms by your side, palms up, shoulders tucked in. So when we come into Shavasana, that's the moment that we let go of our Ujjayi breath. Yeah. So we're just going to relax now. Normal breath. Then you can relax the body, noticing if there's any tension anywhere. And if you can allow the body just to melt into the floor. If you want to stay here and continue to relax, that's beautiful, that's fine, and you can carry on if you need to move into the next part of your day. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Bring one leg in, place the foot on the floor, other leg in, foot on the floor. Moving the knees a bit if you want to. And then you're going to gently roll onto your side, using your arm as a little pillow. And then you're going to push yourself up into a seated position. So you can either sit cross-legged or you can sit with your hips on your heels, up to you. Whatever's best. And then placing the palms together, hands over heart. Have the eyes closed, then just dropping your face, your chin towards your chest and your face towards your heart. You can take in 3 nice long breaths here. And as we do that, maybe set an intention for the day or offering some gratitude for yourself, showing up again for your practice, being part of the challenge. This is a cognitive practice. So yoga is about taking small steps every day towards health and longevity. So even though the practices are quite short and the postures are quite simple, really that's all we need. Just gentle practice every day, connecting to breath, connecting to body, connecting to mind, bringing everything back together. And that checking in with ourselves every day is what leads to health and well-being. Just taking small steps every day. It's the frequency of practice, not the length of practice. It's showing up every day on the mat that's really going to make the biggest difference to your health and well-being. So I really want to thank you for showing up again to the practice, showing up for yourself, being part of the challenge. From my heart to yours, thank you. Namaste.